Okay, here we have my 2008 Dodge Ram 2500. Today we're going to be installing anti-sway drop brackets and end links and anti-sway bar drop bracket or anti-sway bar bushings. The end links and drop brackets I got from Hellbent Steel. A little plug for those guys. So let's get started. Basically, I'm going to come over here underneath. If you guys want, you know, it's up to you. I don't mind doing it with the tire on. You can jack up the truck, take the tires off, front end, whatever is convenient for you. But basically here, I'm going to come in here to my end links. I'm going to take and loosen this here, and then loosen this nut right there. You can see that one. Try to get in there. Let me turn my light on. Maybe you can see that a little better. There we go. Take this right here. Whoop. Take this one off. I'm going to take and loosen this one off, and then I'm going to go to the other side and do the same thing. So that'll make my anti-sway bar easier to remove, and I'll show you those brackets that I'll be taking off here momentarily. Come through here to the other side. Basically, you're looking at the same thing. Loosen this nut, loosen that one down there as well, so that we can have easy access to the sway bar there. Once I get those off, come underneath here really quick. Very simple. We'll take those brackets off there and that bracket there off, and we'll be replacing those as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and take all of this off, and as soon as I do, I'll come back and we'll start on putting this stuff on. Alright, so I got the top nut off. Basically, I'm going to take a rubber mallet here and just give it a little tap, and that'll loosen up the sway bar. Take off the old bushings here, set them aside, give this thing another tap here. Okay, that side's loose. Now, basically, we got to go back over here to this side, and we'll give this side a little tappy. Or not. Yeah. See, the end link there I'm replacing is bent, so we're having a bit of an issue. Stand by, I'll be right back. Alright, so basically, got the sway bar off. What I wanted to show you here is, see how that is bent right here at the top? Yeah, so that definitely needed to be replaced. And the washer that was on top was also threaded into this top portion here. So that's getting replaced. Now also, if you notice when you come over to your sway bar and you take your brackets off here, these bushings are actually all one piece. They're not split in half like the new polyurethane bushings, so you're gonna have to cut them off. These are actually still in pretty good shape, but since I've got it off, it came with the kit. I mean, it's just, obviously, polyurethane's a lot better than rubber, and these are gonna get replaced. I'm gonna cut those off, and we'll put the polyurethane ones on, and I'll show you how to do that here just momentarily. Alright, so we're back. Okay, so like I said, these have got to be cut off. So take whatever sharp knife you can get. I have a sheetrock knife here. Cut them things off. The bottoms of these will be the easiest to cut through. That's the thinnest area to cut through. And it also helps to have a sharper blade than what I probably have on here. So basically, there you go. Junk. So throw those away. Alright. Also, don't forget to recognize, if you're not super familiar with the way the sway bar goes back on, make sure you recognize that this is the which correct way the sway bar goes back on. You don't want it upside down when you put it back on. Just something to kind of keep an eye on when you're putting this stuff back together. Okay, so like I said before, I have here a set of energy suspension sway bar brackets with red polyurethane. They do make them in black. If you choose to have, you really have your heart set on black, you can go with black. I just got these because they were there and that's what I bought. So, clean the ends off, make sure there's no dirt. Come over here. You're going to want to take your bushings and put grease inside this. So take your grease gun and squirt out a little grease on here as best you can. Then you're going to want to take and just kind of smear it around in there all over. It's alright, you can be generous. And then take, and you're going to want to put some grease on the sway bar as well. Just a little, you don't have to overdo it, but this is Lucas Oil Red and Tacky grease here. This stuff works pretty well, I've found. There's also, it's got a pretty high temp. I think it's like 500 plus degrees. Obviously your sway bar here isn't gonna get to that level of temp, but it's just a good high temp grease. So you want to try to put this around the sway bar as easy as possible. There we go, there's that one. Basically you want to come back and do it to the other one as well. Some more grease here. Just get it all up in there. Don't be shy. Highly recommend some gloves from your local hardware store. Makes cleaning your hands a hell of a lot easier. Come down here and we'll put this on the other side. Whoop! I guess I should put some grease on that sway bar as well. Grease does not hurt polyurethane bushings. Don't let anybody fool you and say that it does, because it does. Okay, so basically I want to show you something here. On the stock end links, this thing spins, moves around, there's a joint in there, okay? Now, if I go to take this off, see, it's just going to spin. Even if this comes all the way down, it's still going to spin. So you're going to need something to hold this piece right here in order to break free that nut. So basically, just wanted to show you that. I'm going to use a pair of channel locks to hold on to that, or maybe a vice grip if I need to hold on to it. I'm not too worried about these end links because these are shit. The ones I got are far superior to the ones that come stock on these Rams. So I'll be back after I get this off. Okay, so we're back here. Got them off. I ended up using a pair of vice grips to do it. But as you can see, don't know if I can hold this. You can see that it's bent. That's straight up and down there. And that thing, that cheap piece of crap, is bent. Now, if you look at this one, as opposed to a hell-bent steel one, you know, obviously thicker, just a superior piece of metal here, you know, polyurethane bushings. So we're gonna go with this instead. So anyways, yeah, so we'll get to installing those ASAP. Okay, so now we're going to install the drop brackets for the sway bar. These are, so it brings your sway bar down. It's a matter of geometry. Basically, you want these end links to be straight up and down, almost perfectly straight up and down. Okay, so basically Hellbent went and made these drop brackets, and they are adjustable. They do slide back and forth. So depending upon which way you mount it, if you mount it that way, you're going to be able to put your sway bar way forward, which I'm not going to need. I'm going to mount mine this way because mine were off just a little bit because I put a 2-inch leveling kit on this, so the sway bar end links were pushed forward ever so slightly. So I'm going to mount mine like this. Basically what you're going to want to do is mount these and keep them loose. That way you can slide and adjust to get them to the right spot. So I'm going to go ahead and put these on, get them bolted up, but I'm not going to torque them down yet. Okay, so here we are. Got the drop brackets installed on both sides. Basically, you're going to have to adjust for, you know, how your torsion bar, or correction, your sway bar is going to sit, your anti-sway bar, so that those end links are sitting straight up and down. I actually got it up in there and realized that I'm going to have the brackets going forward. So I flipped them around really quick and made it go forward. These bolts are torqued down to 45 foot-pound for attaching to the frame and to the bracket that holds the bushing in the sway bar. Make sure you do about 3 pumps of grease into that. I'm going to clean this up. This is all set to go for the sway bar. Both ends are torqued down, ready to go. Now I'm going to come back up here to my end links. I'm going to torque down that nut there and the nut on top, and we'll be done. It's pretty simple, really. Just takes time. Also takes time to, you know, record this for you guys so that you can kind of get an idea of how to do this. It's not really that hard. So there you go. Okay, so tighten down the end links. Stand by. This nut here is 60 foot-pound torque. This nut does not have a torque, obviously, because there are bushings in here. So basically I just tightened this down till I had 3/4 inches of thread sticking out on both sides, and that goes for both sides. Notice how it's sitting vertical with the spring. Okay, that's how you want it. Also, you want to make sure that it's not, you know, as you look at it like this, that it's not leaning too far this way or this way. It's got to be vertical this way as well, and you want to make sure that's done on both sides. So we'll crawl back underneath the truck here really quick and check it out. Finished job here. Okay, there's the first one. There's the second one, greased up. I'm going to grease them again a little bit, put a little bit more in. Here's the other finished end link as well. And I'm going to take it out for a test drive and see how she runs. I'm sure it'll be fine. Hellbent makes a pretty good product. So there you go, folks. Hope you learned something. Any questions, feel free to you know, put it on the YouTube website there underneath the video. All right. See you, bye.